What's going on, guys? So in today's video I'm going to be refurbishing an Xbox 360 this time. Last time I did a launch model 60 gig PS3 and now I've got something else to complete it. What I aim to do is just restore it back to the way it looked like when it was new, and yeah. The reason I chose the PS3 and the 360 to have as sort of like ornaments or whatever I guess you could say in my games room is that's sort of about the time when these two consoles came out. It was sort of about the same time that I really sort of started getting into collecting and everything. So yeah, it's got a bit of a nostalgia to it, I guess. And these two consoles were the first two ones that I could really buy with my own money, I guess. So yeah, what I've got here is I've got a looks like it's a 20 gig hard drive. That's what it was sold as on eBay. This is one that originally came from EB Games, so it's probably going to be horrible inside, all taped together and crap. I don't like how whoever EB Games used to refurbish their consoles are terrible. Like, they just make a mess of everything. So yeah, I had a quick look at it. It boots up fine. It's running the Metro Dash, which is a bit of a sad face, but what can you do? I might end up JTagging it, not JTagging, RJTag I think it's called, or glitching the console basically. I think with the older ones there's a different method you can use that works a lot better. Yeah, it came with two wireless controllers that look like they've seen better days. I've got some replacement sticks for them. They're not grey ones, they're black ones, but what are you going to do? And I prefer the black ones anyway, they look nicer with the white. I've got a podged together I've got another wireless controller I use all the time for my 360 Slim, and it's one of these ones that's a white one, but it's mixed between the white one and the black one. So like all these buttons and stuff are black. Yeah, here's the power supply for it. It's only 150 watts because this is again only a Jasper, so it doesn't need much. One interesting thing is the end of this. Sorry. Pull that back in. The end of this is all smashed up, which isn't surprising seeing as this whole housing here is plastic. It's not as nice as the XDKs or the launch ones as well, which were 203 watts. They're all nice and metal and they use nice little clips and everything. Another thing I noticed is this power supply. I've never noticed this before until I actually looked at it properly. Is this power supply is a lot shorter than the stock one. I always thought they were all the same length, they were just lighter, but yeah, it's smaller all around. I think I'll do this first. I think I'll fix this one up first. It'll be a quick little video. I'm using my soft lights, so hopefully the colour in this one will come out nice, and the brightness and whatever you want to call it. This is an arcade unit, so it isn't actually a 20 gig Pro, but with some, sorry about that, with some crafty tinkering we can make it look like a Pro. I've got a chrome bezel floating around, and I should still have the eject button floating around that I pulled off a couple Pros. I'm going to need to get a new front panel because the spring's gone on it, which is pretty common. Probably replace either just the button itself, the surface mount tactile switch underneath here, or replace the entire board. I've got spare boards. It sits in a little bit too far. That could just be from this plastic just wearing down from probably someone punching the crap out of it because it wasn't working. Up the top here, something interesting. I don't know if this happened during shipping, and I don't know if you can actually see this, but just here, there's a hole in it. Now, this doesn't look like it's even a genuine hard drive. Either the person who traded it in EB Games just used a knockoff one, or EB Games did that themselves. I wouldn't put it past them. It's a full knockoff one. It doesn't even say how many gigs it is. Usually they do at the top if it's a 20 gig launch model. Or this could just be a later revision where they just decided to take that off to save some money. Yeah, so it just doesn't look right. The hologram logo on here just doesn't look right. Usually the Chinese knockoffs that look almost identical to this, either this chrome piece is grey. I've got a grey one floating around, and the one telltale sign is that this sorry, it's probably not in focus. That this hologram logo here isn't actually holographic. Well, kind of is. It doesn't look right. It's all funny. It's all blurry. The Microsoft decal, they're pretty easy to clone because they've just got little bits that rip off them, the same as the stock thing. And speaking of, security labels and stuff, I've pulled this one off, and you would have guessed it already. It's a Microsoft refurb. So I'm just going to put the camera down for a second. Be back in a second. Alright, I'm back again. Yeah, so this is a Microsoft refurb that the dodgy brothers at EB Games stuck a sticker over the top. I don't know why they just didn't peel the other one off or whatever. They didn't even cut it, they just tore it. Man, these guys are horrible. They're just filthy with their work. Like, whenever I work on something, especially if it's like a client job or something, I like to make it look either the same as it came in, like cosmetically, but cleaner, or try and get it to look as new as possible, because that's what really sells a job when you repair something, is how different it looks when it comes out. And usually worse off looking isn't a good thing. Now, let's go along here. Oh, this is fine. The this tactile switch here for the sync button's fine. The tactile one under here feels fine for the eject. I booted it up, I haven't tried a game in it. Drive eject's fine and everything, so it's not sticking. The seller said something like they don't know if it actually reads discs properly. We'll have to see what sort of pickup this thing uses. I've probably got a spare one floating around. And here's my serial number, please don't steal it. No, this thing will probably never go on Xbox Live just because I've got a Slim for that. Yeah, other than being atrociously filthy, that's not bad. It's hard to tell what region this is. I'm guessing this is just a PAL, seeing as EB Games sold it, but they never check anything, and yeah, they're not exactly rocket scientists, I guess. It looks like a Jasper. Well, this is in Chinese, which I don't know if that's normal. I haven't really played around with a 360 in a while, but yeah. Looks like it's lived on HDMI its whole life. It's all really dirty, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away again, and we're going to take a closer look at this guy. Back in a sec. Okay, so here's the power supply. Obviously checked very well by EB Games. Date tested 11th of the 6th, 2013, so it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, so looking at this, I'm trying to work out what's happened here. It looks like someone's just knocked it and reefed it out sideways like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this thing open, and when I find my tools, where have I put them? Oh, they're upside me. Let's have a look here through my chest of tinkering bits. Let's just go, let's use a pry tool, we'll probably get it open. Yeah, so this side's already popped off. It looks like it uses two little retention clips, one at the front, one at the back. So if we push in there, probably a screwdriver will work better than this. Or if we just squeeze it. Ah. Today on YouTube, watch a man struggle. Flathead, mate. Let's just go Hulk on this thing. Ah, Hulk smash. It's alright. If this is completely screwed, I've got a spare 203 watt power supply somewhere. Whoa, man, that hurt. Yeah, still good. Probably a better way of doing that, but anyway. Let's have a look. Okay. Got ourselves bits of plastic. Where'd they come from? Fuck, that hurt. Rip my nail off. Can't actually see where they came from. Ah, yeah, that's where it's from. It's just from the back of this. So here's the back of the plug here. So we've got ground along the bottom, 12 volt up the top, or in the middle here, and that's the blue one is power supply on, so that's like a 3 volt return, and then we have 5 volt STB for standby voltages and stuff. Usually when the consoles are running, it won't pull a 5 volt rail from this one. It's not thick enough to carry that much load. So what will happen is it'll pull it from the 12 volt rail here. I believe that's a single rail. They just run it across 3 wires to able to support enough current and everything to run the system. Yeah, as I was saying, I believe once the console is running, it'll pull its 5 volt from here. It'll use just a regulator to do that, dropping it down from 12 down to 5. So what's happened here is it's not too serious looking. It just looks like they've just bent these little clips back. Let's see if we can get it back in there. Should just slide back in. Because it would be nice to use the original power supply. Yeah, there we go. There's one back in. And just 2 on this other side. That's pretty easy. Probably won't be easy, because I'll probably miss something and mess it up, but give that a good old tagger. No. So what's going on here? What's stopping this from going out? Sorry, my hands are probably in the way. That's all it is. I don't know if that's in focus or not, but just this little, uses a little latch clip thing on it to hold the wires in, and it's just pulled them backwards. You see that a lot with AV cables and stuff that use like a multi-connector, like on the Super Nintendo and things. So if you just bend it back in the right way and then just flick it up. Molex connectors use a similar method as well to clip into the plastic. This is basically just a Molex connector, but it's just a proprietary one. So, but the idea is the same in the end of the day. I can get the bloody thing in the right way. Probably should be using tweezers for this, but oh well. Yeah, so those little flayed out bits of metal act as sort of like a clip. And because this is made as cheaply as possible, they use cheap thin metal. But yeah, now I'm tugging on that and it's not coming out, but try the other ones. Yep, that one comes back out again because it is bent on one side. So it's probably not very interesting, but might help someone if they're trying to fix their power lead. Another thing you can do, if these little clips are snapped off completely and it won't bend up far enough, is you can actually just slide in these connectors here, the pins for it, and just glue them in. Hot glue would work. It doesn't need a lot to keep these stayed in, because most of the pressure when you're plugging it in is sort of like spread across this big plastic connector. These just need to make contact, so it won't need much. Now let's have a look here. So I'm doing it from my angle where I'm sitting, and yeah. Yep, they don't want to budge. Try the 5 volt, it's fine, 3's fine. So there you go. We have, come on, stupid camera. There you go, so we've replaced or fixed the connector. Those bits of plastic had just broken off here, they don't make much difference. Hopefully this should be able to go back into the case. But it's as simple as, yeah, just as that. Let's see. I might have to glue this. Oh, I got it upside down. That's why it's upside down. Skeletor. But yeah, so what are these? Okay. These little bits that are broken off actually clip in there. So what I'll probably do is I'll get some epoxy resin and see if I can just epoxy these back on. And hopefully we wouldn't have to bodge it up too much so it looks nice and new again. So I'll get onto this. There we go. Goes in like that. I'll get onto this and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so I just thought while the glue's drying here, I got it set up on a little stand, a little helping hand stand. I decided to strip down the power supply and just take out all the plastic bits. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. It's got like lots of dust and stuff and lots of dirty things. So that's the blower fan assembly. I just pulled it straight off, not too hard. And here's just all the little ducting pieces, the little diffuser for the LED, part of the fan assembly. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, as I said, while this is all drying and stuff, I'm just going to go wash all this in the sink with some nice hot soapy water and then put it outside to dry. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so it's the next day now. I just let the glue dry overnight and I've just put it all back together. So yeah, and there's just testing it, I guess. So I'll bring the 360 back over, plug that in. I don't know if you can actually see that. Yeah, you can see that. Plug it in. Orange light is on. And give it a go. Yeah, it's working fine. So that's it for this video. Probably the next video will be part 2 on this. We'll get to tear down the console and more than likely the hard drive as well. It's only really quick for that one, so yeah, I'll see you in the next part. Hi guys, thanks for watching my video. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, it really helps me out. Also, you can find me on Twitter and on my website. I'll put the links in the description. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.